I'm Christy from coastalknitsandpurls.com. I am a Florida knitter and I share my knitting adventures through the Sunshine State. So I'm here with my weekly update on all my knitting and reading and watching and listening. It's actually a 2-week update because I didn't do one last Friday because my kids were on spring break and we were out of town. So this really goes back to from the 14th of March until today, which is the 28th. So I don't have any finished objects, but I'm super close on some of my whips. So I think by next week I should have several finished objects. So I'm just gonna jump right in. I am to the toes on my Harry Potter sock. This is the wrong side, of course, but I will be finishing the toes on this probably over the weekend or the beginning of next week, and then this, voila, will become a finished object. And then I'll cast on sock number 2. Those are for my oldest daughter, Kate. I have 2 whips in a project bag by Ocean Patch Creations. She's on Etsy. This was a gift from my boss, and I have a little Notions bag that matches, but I don't have it with me. It's not the same exact pattern. But this one holds 2 sock projects. I'm on the foot of my, it's called, I always get this wrong, Keep Calm and Leprechaun sock. But I actually call it Lucky Charms because it reminds me of the cereal I ate as a kid. This I am on 30 something of the foot, 38 maybe, of round 75 on the foot. So probably will get finished with at least the foot this weekend. This project bag also holds my, oh boy, I got it all twisted up. But anyways, my Shortie sock, which is my Cupid's bow Shortie sock. Also on the foot. About the same number of rounds on this foot as this one. I'm doing kind of simultaneously, so 10 rounds on this, 10 rounds on this. So they should finish about the same time. I am still working on my Florida temperature blanket, and I have knit, and I'm caught up to as of today. So I haven't done today's row yet, but I will. And I have touched Kate's hurricane blanket just a few times. Definitely not as far along as I thought I would be with that blanket, but that's okay. I am fine with that. What else? I think those are all my whips. I can't think of anything else in the whip department. I haven't received anything in the mail yet, but probably next update I will have received both of my subscription boxes, I think. So I'll be able to show you the squishy goodness there. I actually downgraded my Hypnotic yarns, my Yarnable, to just the yarn. They opened up that option, and I do like the little extras that they give, but sometimes they don't pertain to me. I wish when there were extras they pertained to knitting or something like that rather than kind of being all over the place. Like they sent tea last week, and I don't really drink hot tea. So it's there, and my husband from time to time will drink a hot tea, but it's something that I probably will never use, basically. And then what else? They've sent bath salts and things like that, which I don't really take baths, but face masks, all sorts of things. Sometimes when it's project bags, or I got a progress keeper last time, those actually it wasn't a project bag, it was a Notions bag. I definitely use that kind of stuff. So I just wish some of those subscriptions would stick to, although they've had some treats like edibles, edible treats like cookies and things like that, which I have enjoyed. But again, I would rather it be knitting related. It's a knitting subscription box, and I would rather it be knitting related. So that being said, what I have read since then, let's see, I read a few. I finished the Thursday Murder Club, which is book number 1 of the Thursday Murder Club series. I enjoyed it. I had read a different knitter's opinion, and I want to say she didn't like it, but I might be wrong on that. There was another book that by the same author that she did not care for, and I also did not care for that. And I actually started that book and kind of nixed it, which I hardly ever do, but I am getting more into that. Just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not gonna read it. I did finish Skinny Dip by Carl Hyacin, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I love pretty much all of his things. I re-listened to The Great Gatsby. I've read it and listened to it a few times, and I did another listen through. And I finished Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister, which I also enjoyed. I usually enjoy her books. I am currently listening to a book for book club called Familiaris. I don't love it. It is 975 pages long, 37 hours on an audiobook. And so far I find it to just be complete rambling. I don't find it to be like a very succinct story. Feels like he could have probably, told this story in a lot fewer words and a lot fewer pages. But I have to finish it for book club, so I will. I am reading the hard copy of Squeeze Me by Carl Hyacin. Thoroughly enjoying this. I'm not terribly far through it, but his stuff is always a really easy, lighthearted read. So I'll hopefully get through that relatively quickly. What I've been watching, so I basically caught up on my Datelines. We've been watching Dateline through Peacock Plus. A lot of the episodes I had seen, but they put out a new one, I think every Thursday. So maybe last night they put out a new one through Peacock Plus, and I will try to catch up on that one. But otherwise, I'm caught up. So Peacock Plus rolled over to this show called Homicide for the Holidays. So true crime shows. I like it so far. I'm not terribly far into the season, but I have been watching those. And that's it. My husband and I have just been watching Dateline together, and he and I have been watching that a little bit together, the Homicides for the Holidays, or Homicide for the Holidays. But sometimes I watch it, by myself, and vice versa. So what else? Okay, I've been working on moving my blog, so coastalknitsandpurls.com, over to Substack full time. It will still have the domain name, custom domain name, once I get everything moved over, and around April 20th, I will be transferring the domain. So it's kind of seamless if you're typing in the coastalknitsandpurls.com to get to my content. I'll have to work on some redirects and things like that for all those old blog posts to redirect to the new ones on the new platform. But still thoroughly loving Substack. Highly recommend checking it out. Just looking around as a knitter. A great community of knitters exists there, and I'm thoroughly enjoying reading their things, reading their updates. Seeing their projects come through and, to fruition, finished, and, their struggles and whatnot. It's patterns, there's pattern designers on there, all sorts of folks in the knitting world. So check it out. It's free. There's no obligation, to be on Substack. So it's just another platform where I find the knitting community to be really tight-knit and helpful, lots of useful information, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's it. So as of April 20th, you will see a change around April 20th, because it's a little loosey-goosey there. But around April 20th, you will see a change in how the website looks, but it will function pretty much, entirely the same. If you subscribe to the newsletter that goes out through Substack. So every time a post is made, you receive an email with that article. That's great. That is how you will receive that. If you subscribe to the WordPress site, prior to Substack, I think some of you have already went ahead into Substack, but I will see about getting you set up just to receive the articles, just like you were receiving them through WordPress. So it'll just be through Substack instead of WordPress, but you still get it in your email, so it's really seamless to you. So I don't think you have to be like a Substack member or user. It just is that you subscribe to my newsletter. So I think that is all for today. And I will be back next week, hopefully with more. So hopefully with squishy goodies and finished objects. So until then, happy knitting.